Good evening, my name is Garrett and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Knob Creek. This is their Bourbon X Rye, coming in at a 56.5% ABV, at least 7 years old. So I've been on the record this year of saying a lot about Jim Beam, and they've been doing some phenomenal releases. Now this one's kind of a head scratcher. Not because Bourbon X Ryes are common or not common, but I didn't expect of anybody, Knob Creek, to be dropping this. So first of all, what is a rye essentially? It's where you have a bourbon plus rye and they blend them together. And the cool thing is they actually kept the age statements on both things. So we have their 9-year-old bourbon coming in at 30% of the blend, and 70% of the blend is their 7-year-old rye, which are both really solid bottles. And to be honest, I really like that 7-year-old rye. I think the 10's a little bit better, obviously. But I'm really curious on, first of all, does this bottle need to exist on the shelves? And two, is it any good? Now, there's some chatter going on that this might be a limited release. So, that FOMO might kick in. But the question is it worth picking up? Well, let's find out how Knob Creek does a rye. Now, typically when people think of ryes, they think of High West with their rye or Redwood Empire. They not only have a rye, they have a cask strength rye, and those are shelf stable bottles. So really interesting again that Knob Creek decided to go this route. Anywho, as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, and well, that's a problem. Become a member if you like, all that kind of good stuff, as I'm getting on to my spiel. If you're interested in some of the other Knob Creek reviews that I've done, links to those videos will be up above and down below. They chinched down on the wax or something. But I've been hitting a lot of the Jim Beam products this year because we've had so many releases from them. And again, I really like what they're doing. I'm interested in that numbering. Why 70% of this being that rye? I don't know. Beautiful dark golden color. On the eyes itself, it looks like it's got some good age on there. I would probably lean heavier into the 9 years. It's beautiful. Alrighty, let's go for notes. Okay, that's interesting. Definitely get a lot of rye up front, obviously. You get that kind of spicy, herbal, dash medicinal, a lot of floral as well. Sweet, what kind of sweet? There's a sweet fruit going on. Like pears, peaches? Peaches. Yeah, like a sweet peach, like a fuzzy outside of a sweet peach. Yeah, okay. I'm digging what you're cooking here. You get some underlying tones of that corn buttery sweet note coming from the bourbon. The thing of it is, however, the rye is dominating here. You really don't get a lot of the bourbon side. But you do get a bit of the charriness, vanilla sweet cream, dash of caramel going on. Okay. There's no real ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. Maybe a little bit. I'm getting more corn dustiness in here. Just a little bit. It's not heavy-handed in that. But overall, it's got a really solid nose. I'll give it that. Alrighty, let's go for a taste. There's a Jim Beam nuttiness. Wow. A lot of that on the profile for me today. I tend to like Jim Beam's ryes better than their bourbons, but that rye spiciness is interesting in here because you're getting that kind of herbal medicinal, almost like orange peel, like an old fashioned. It's coming across like a bottled old fashioned for me. Because you're getting that rye spiciness, you're getting that corn dustiness in here, the sweet characteristics, almost green apple for me now, and then that kind of undertone of the herbal medicinal rye going on in here. Charriness from the cask itself. Okay. Definitely got some warmth on there too. That's a little bit higher than what we tend to see. Usually Knob Creek stays at like a 50% ABV. Very curious for them to bump it up to the 56, almost 57 at that range. It's interesting and I like it, I think. Let's go for another sip. Yeah, got a good pepperiness to it. I like the sweeter oak in here. You can definitely tell the 9-year bourbon in here as well. I'll give that credit. Again, I still think maybe I would have went a 60-40. I'm curious why, again, they went 70-30. Maybe it was to tame down the bourbon side of things. But I'll say this much. Like, this is upper rye. Like, you're getting both sides of the coin, even though you're getting more of the rye side. I love the spiciness, the herbalness coming through. You still gotta like Jim Beam's products. You gotta like that nuttiness that Jim Beam's known for. But the spiciness mixes so well with the corn dustiness and the in my opinion, pretty well-aged bourbon going on here. It's not super complex. And both on their own, the 7-year-old rye and the 9-year-old bourbon are not super complex on their own. They're really solid pours that are just that. And as a blend, it comes across very similar for me. I like it. It's just existing. Third sip here, getting a little bit more of the spiciness, more like cinnamon stick, maybe a dash of clove in there. And that underlying pepperiness is getting richer in there. With that charriness from the cask really kind of showcased very well. Yeah, I like it. I do. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it as well. With that note, let's talk about a grade for this. So for me, I ended up paying like $40.99, so $41 for this. I'm going to have to give it a solid B in my book. I think it's actually really good. Now, I'm curious why going 70-30. I would have been interested to try this at a 60-40 split with the bourbon at the 40. And I still got to say, though, it's good. Now, I see some places going as $45, $55. And when you start getting into those price ranges, I kind of question it a little bit more. Because here in my market, I can get the rye for mid-30s. And the bourbon I can get usually for mid-20s. So I could buy both of those for $50 and make my own blend if I really wanted to. But at the end of the day, if they kept this one shelf stable, not only do I think it's really solid, but I have to give it credit that I think it'd do really great as a mixed cocktail. Like if you did an old fashioned or a Manhattan with that, bringing in both sides of that coin, I think does some wonders for it. Again, for me, I wish the bourbon was showcased maybe a tad bit more, but at the end of the day, I enjoy this one. At that $40 price range, I kind of hope it sticks around at that. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Knob Creek Bourbon X Rye. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might